What's up guys, Bacon here, welcome back to more Pokemon Crystal. In the last episode we got through the route south of Violet City, and now we are about to explore the first official dungeon of the game, Union Cave, or at least the first required dungeon. I wouldn't consider Dark Cave much of a dungeon because you can barely do anything, but I do consider Sprout Tower to be the first dungeon technically. Though it is required, or though it is optional. In the remakes, it's not optional, but fortunately in this game it is. I did a bit of training off screen, not much, but I got Apilles up to level 14, so he's the same as Olive. I think I said she, he. Yeah, you can see here Apilles. Oh no, sorry, Apilles is level 13, not 14. My mistake. And I also went and caught myself a Bellsprout, which I've named Mrs. Cutter. That name will come in later, but if you've ever played Okami, then you would get that name. It's a reference to Okami. Now, I mentioned that, I don't think I mentioned, but we found a repel in the last episode, and I would strongly recommend using this. There is a way to get through this entire dungeon off that one repel. It is possible to go through this dungeon in 100 steps or less. I will be using the repel. The next town sells repels, so if you don't want to deal with wild encounters, what I would suggest doing, I can show you the route. I'm not going to right now, but there's actually a before I go too much further, there's a Pokemon I want to catch in this area. So, while I look for it, I can keep saying what I was saying. What was I saying? Alright, no? Yeah, the last episode, nope. The next town sells repels, so you can dart through, and catch... What am I saying? Well, whatever, I found the Pokemon I'm looking for. Sandshrew. Now, I actually went ahead and, it is now morning in the game, which if I step outside, you'll be able to see that. I don't really want to risk using Peck again, because if I guess this is a good time to mention something called, basically, there's a variance in how much damage your attacks do. No matter how much you attempt to calculate, your attacks have a 15% damage variation that you have absolutely no control over. I'm not going to go over the whole damage calculation formula, but at the end of all the calculations, it multiplies the entire thing by a random number between 0.85 to 1. So, you can do anywhere from 100 to 85% of how much damage you would theoretically do. This is usually referred to as damage rolls. Anyway, so yeah, we caught ourselves a Sandslash here. I am going to name this thing, this might sound a little bit lame and unoriginal. I'm going to name it Crystal. I'm naming it this because it's been a long-standing tradition of mine that any Sandslash I catch will evolve, or I will name it. I always, any Sandshrew I use is a female Sandshrew named Crystal. That's always just been a tradition, and I want to honor that. So I'm glad that the first one I encountered was a female. So yeah, between Mrs. Cutter, the egg, and our new party member, we're up to 5 Pokemon. Well, debatable if we had counts. And this is why I wanted to hold on to that Mudslap TM that I got, because I knew I was going to be teaching it to Sandshrew here. Olive can learn it too, that's interesting. I'm not surprised Apilles can learn it. As I said, most bird-like Pokemon can learn it. I'm not going to say most flying types, but most bird Pokemon. But yes, Sandshrew now has... And the reason that I was skipping 2 trainers earlier is because I want to save them for having Crystal. So I'm going to go back and fight those 2 now. I've went back, in between episodes, I went actually all the way back to New Barktown to talk to my mother to attempt to change whether the daylight savings time was on, because I needed time to advance forward to being morning in order to catch the Sandshrew, because Sandshrew does not appear at night. It only appears in the morning and the daytime. Yeah, Mudslap isn't the best move around. It's got 10 PP, 20 power, which is 30 after same type attack bonus, 60. Yeah, that was super effective and same type attack bonus and barely did anything. And Nidoran Male is the more offensive of the two. But, anyway, yeah, I was hoping that I could set the clock forward an hour to make it less waiting, because due to the system I am playing this on, the clock doesn't advance in real time, it only advances while I'm playing the game, so I can't just let it go to the side. I need the game running, so I had it running for, like, a while today to get time to advance, because it was like 10 o'clock at night when I ended the last episode, and I needed it to be at the earliest 4 in the morning for it to be registered as morning in the game. Yeah, Crystal got a lot of experience for that. I'm actually gonna go back to the Pokemon Center just to get my Mudslap PP back. But anyway, yeah, I went back to my mom's to hopefully set time forward. Unfortunately, it already was set forward, so that didn't help. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because on the way, I encountered an NPC on the route to... I encountered an NPC on Route 29. This NPC, I took some screenshots, I'll put these on screen. Unfortunately, I didn't think to screenshot until after I talked to them the first time, but there's an NPC named Tuscany of Tuesday. She will appear on Route 29 on, you guessed it, Tuesdays, and will only appear after you've collected at least one gym badge. There's a sibling for each day of the week, and each one will give you a hold item. I believe you can... I should have it. Do I not have it? Oh, no, I don't! Oh, that's right, because when I found out that my mom wouldn't advance time forward, I reloaded my last save, because since I'm playing this on somewhat of an emulator device, I can do save states, and I'm not going to abuse that in the game, but it's useful for in-between stuff, so I set that as an anchor point so that if my mom didn't help, I could cut out the backtracking. As a result, I reloaded to before I encountered the NPC. So, I actually don't have it, and now it's Wednesday in the game, so I can't get it. But I'll still put the pictures up. She gives you an item called the Pink Bow, which is like the Miracle Seed, but instead of buffing normal type attacks. Yeah, I'm surprised that's the first attack I missed, considering how many sand attacks that Pidgey was spamming. Anyway, it's like the Miracle Seed, but it buffs normal type attacks instead of grass type attacks, is what I'm trying to say. So, I actually kind of wish I did still have that, because that would have been a great item to give to a Pyles. But nevertheless... Oh, and if you're wondering, I did not do the Joey rematch off screen. I want to make sure the first time I do that is on screen, so don't worry, I didn't do that off screen. Fortunately, she's a lot easier to skip because she'll just be in the corner talking on her phone, and if you don't approach her, she'll never battle you. The other guy, I have to be a bit more careful because I can walk around him. Or if I don't walk around him, he will challenge me, so... If you plan to catch Sandshrew, possibly Geodude, Onix, or a Hoppip, I do recommend skipping all these trainers until you can get them. Well, actually, Hoppip you can catch on this route anyway, so that's not a big deal. My Sandshrew actually is a bit damaged because I was battling a Rattata along the way, because I wanted the experience. This is actually doing more damage. Oh, to be fair, I have grown a couple levels. Well, I've grown a level. This one's missing a lot more, which is nice, making up for the fact that I have low health. Wow. I love that the more defensive one was actually way easier to fight. And Crystal grows to level 20. And what is it with me and putting 20 before levels? Wow. Anyway. I head back to the Pokemon Center. And then we can challenge this dungeon for real. So I think what I actually am going to do, I am going to show off that route that you can take to go through the dungeon without, go through the entire dungeon on one repel. And then I'm going to buy some more repels in the next town and come back and show off the rest of the dungeon that I didn't explore. We aren't really going to do anything with the next town in this episode. This episode will just be the dungeon, but I am going to go through it quickly and then demonstrate the, come back, buy repels, and demonstrate the rest. So we want to use that one repel that we got. One thing that's nice is in the remakes, once you beat Falconer, you can actually buy repels at the Violet City Pokemon Center. Don't worry about trainers; they won't affect your repel because it's based on the number of steps you take. In case you didn't know that. No. I remember in elementary school. It's funny I say this because at the time the remakes, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, were the most recent Pokemon games at the time, and I recall this one guy. I wouldn't quite call him a friend, but a classmate I got along well enough with. Anyway, he. Okay, sorry about randomly muting the audio there. I accidentally said something that's spoiling something way later in the game that I didn't mean to. So I cut that out. But anyway, he was struggling with a dungeon that comes much later in the game. And, he was having a hard time with the Pokemon in there. So when he asked, I mentioned it was my favorite dungeon, and when he asked me to help him get through it, I realized the big part of his problem was that he had no idea that repels were even a thing. And when I no, I think it's that he thought repels only worked in grass, he didn't know that they worked in caves. It was actually quite funny. So I finally explained to him that they worked, and then he had a much easier time getting through the dungeon. And Crystal Groose. Alright, no, I actually didn't want to change Pokemon. One last Geodude to go. I didn't mean to press down there. Whoops. Oh well. Yeah, if you have a ground type, this dungeon's quite good for training them out. Especially if you happen to catch Wooper, because Wooper's part water as well, which makes it even better for training in this area. Nice. And decent bit of experience there. Nice, nice. Probably gonna use a potion to heal up. I got 3 of these. Okay. So yeah, basically you want to just hug the walls and just try to take as few unnecessary steps as possible. Alright, the bill sends out Coughing. I actually almost said the wrong Pokemon because there's another fire breather later in this cave that has a different Pokemon and I was getting them mixed up. Coughing doesn't resist Scratch, so despite the fact that it has decently high defenses, I'm not going to waste my Mudslap PP. It would be super effective, but I only have 3 of them left, so And I don't want to go back and heal because I can't... trying to show off getting through here on only one repel. There we go, that wasn't too hard. A lot of experience with that. Crystal's already up to level 10. Another coughing. The other move you see that I haven't used, Defense Curl, that just raises Sandshrew's defense by one stage. And it just occurred to me I haven't really mentioned how stat boosts and nerfs work in their stages. Your stats can go up or down to up a maximum of 6 stages. And it's basically a 50% increase or decrease. I will get those items when I come back here. I want to hug this wall. And you're up. Now, this guy... I think I want to lead with Crystal. I know which 2 Pokemon he has, I just can't remember which one comes first and which one comes second. I hope I'm getting this right. Yes, I am getting it right. Very good, very good. Level 11, I'm hoping 3 Mudslaps will be enough. That looks like it's about a quarter. Yeah, I'm gonna need a few tackles to finish this up. Ooh, that one has Rock Throw. Ooh. I could easily finish this off by just sending an Olive and kill it with a Razor Leaf, but I want Crystal to get the experience. I have no Mudslaps left, so... Yep, this is gonna take probably 5 or 6 more scratches. Oh my goodness. At least he's missing most of his attacks. That was a very nice time to get a critical. More of those, please. Not from you, though. What the heck? I'm almost at a shop anyway. One more should do him in. Oh, I'm really glad I healed. Geodude goes down, Crystal goes to level 11. And Sand Attack, which, because I have Mudslap, is completely redundant. And he has a Machop, so I am going to let Apidles handle this one. Yeah, this one trainer is actually pretty tough compared to everything we've encountered up to this point. Pokemon are decently high level, and they both have actual, like, fighting and rock type attacks. So, I remember him actually giving me a bit of trouble when I was younger. And we have reached Azalea Town. And Repel's effect wore off. I'm going to hit the Pokemon Center. Go to the mart. Alright, so what might immediately jump out at you is this, Charcoal. If you chose Cyndaquil, or you decided to catch the Growlithe that you can find out by Violet City, you might be interested in wanting to get this, because it increases Fire-type moves. Don't. You will be able to get one for free in the near future. Like, you'll get one for free before reaching the next town, so don't waste your money on that. Anyway, I'm going to buy 5 repels. That should be enough. I'll save the rest of my shopping for when I'm done in the cave, because I'll have more money from defeating more trainers by then. So, back to Union Cave. First things first, we want to battle this guy. This is the fire breather I was thinking of before. It has Vulpix. If you were playing silver instead of gold or crystal, then the area where you could catch a Growlithe, you'd be able to catch a Vulpix instead. Only in silver, though. So, bit of a shame, because I actually really like Vulpix. It's one of my favorite Generation 1 Pokemon. Didn't really gain an appreciation for it until later, because I never got to use it in this game. Anyway, I'm going to actually put on my Repel before I forget the whole point of going and buying them. I often hear a lot of people say, like, oh, it sucks, they only give you one Repel before the first dungeon. But as I just showed, you can get through here on only one Repel. You can't get everything, but you can get through, buy more Repels, and then come back. Now, actually, you would completely whoop Crystal into the ground, but at least I can switch Train. I was thinking of switching Olive into the front, but I can switch out. Because you have Slowpoke! I actually considered using Slowpoke on my team for this playthrough. I've never actually used one before, but I'm open to trying Pokemon for the first time. But I have a different water type in mind. There are a couple of Pokemon I've considered for this team that didn't quite make the final cut. Olive almost leveled up. Decent money there. You know, I just realized it would have been smart to buy an escape rope while I was in there, but oh well. TM39. This contains the TM for Swift, which is a really good move. It's a 60 power normal type move that never misses. Crystal can learn. Apiles can learn it. I'm actually going to teach that to Apiles. Big upgrade from Tackle, that's for sure. I initially thought about teaching it to Crystal, but I'm going to give it to Apiles instead. I actually didn't know that Hoot Hoot could learn that. That's cool. And here we have an X Defense, or an X Defend. I have a few X items. I can sell those for more money. And we got a couple more items we want to get. Can't really do anything about this, but we'll come back to that when we have the ability to deal with water. Because there actually is some great stuff past that pool, if you can get past it. So we'll be sure to come back here when that happens. There it is. Wanna grab this, it's a potion. I'll never say no to free healing. And we got this, which is a Great Ball. Makes up for the one I used. And that is everything we can access now, so... Yeah, I probably bought more repels than I need to, but... Oh well. Well... With that, we finished up Union Cave, at least as much as we're able to at this point in the game. And our repels effect wore off in almost the exact same place, actually. That's kind of funny. In the next episode, we are going to explore the new town and see what's up with that shady person standing in front of the well. Maybe we can push him down. See you guys next time.